ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Okay, so we're reading from Canto 1, Chapter 5, verse 18. The very important verse. तस्यैव हेतुः प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यद्भ्रमतामुपर्यतः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवदन्यत् सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररमसा. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. Hmm. So here the important part is people who are actually intelligent. Intelligent, and we have to be slightly philosophically inclined. Philosophically inclined means want to know, want to understand who we are, want to understand this world, how this is working, etc., etc. So there are a lot of people who are intelligent but not philosophically inclined. They are materially inclined. Mm. They want to use their intelligence for achieving material things. That's not for them. So those who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined, what should they do? They should endeavor only for that purposeful end. It's a purposeful end. Mm. Everybody comes to every birth comes to an end, but that's the not a purposeful end because there's no purpose in that. Every life ends and then there is another life. That's all. Another Janma. Mm. But first of all, we should have a purpose in our life and we should end our life with that purpose, achieving that purpose. And what should one do? One who is intelligent, philosophically inclined, he should endeavor only for this. And this purposeful end, it is not obtainable even by wandering from Brahmaloka down to lowest planet. We've been wandering. It's not obtainable. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically. Just as in course of time we obtain miseries. So the important thing is in course of time. Everything has a time. It'll come, it'll go, it'll come, it'll go. We should not be under illusion saying that I did something, I solved something, I achieved something. Many of us have this. We are in this illusion saying that okay, I am some problem. Okay, I did something and I got over that problem. No, a problem came, then you endeavored. Then incidentally, the time also came for you to get over that problem. So you got over the problem. Just our endeavor will not ensure that we will come out of the problem. Endeavor is just our, otherwise we'll go insane. We should endeavor, but we should not over endeavor. We should endeavor. But every endeavor doesn't result in the preferred outcome. Only when somebody is destined to get that outcome, then and they endeavor, they'll get the result. So here this verse is saying anyway, happiness will also come just like that. Whenever it has to come, it will come. Whenever misery has to come, it will come. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can alter it. Nobody can do anything about it. So that is not the purpose. So what is the idea of this verse? It is saying people's purpose is to get happiness from sense enjoyment, but that is not the purpose of life because that's going to come anyway automatically. So one should endeavor only for that purposeful end. Hmm. So we should go beyond trying to achieve happiness through sense enjoyment. That's what this verse is saying. Purport. Every man, everywhere is trying to obtain the greatest amount of sense enjoyment by various endeavors. Every man, everywhere. Some men are busy engaged in trade, industry, economic development, political supremacy, etc. And some of them are engaged in fruity work to become happy in the next life by attaining higher planets. This is unknown to this generation. This is previous generation. It is said that on the moon the inhabitants are fit for greater sense enjoyment by drinking somarasa, and the Pitraloka is obtained by good charitable work. Pitraloka is also Swarga, one type of Swarga. So there are various programs for sense enjoyment, either during this life or in the life after death. Intelligent people used to look work towards to get happiness in a life after death. Unintelligent people are trying to get happiness in this life. Some are trying to reach the moon or other planets by some mechanical arrangement, for they're very anxious to get into such planets, but without doing good work. Without doing good work. Because urdhvam gachanti satvasta. Only when somebody does good work, they get punya, then they can go. So Prabhupada is saying, but it is not to happen, meaning just by mechanical arrangement one cannot go, it is not to happen. By the law of the Supreme, different places are meant for different grades of living beings, according to the work they have performed. So grades. So superior living beings with lot of punya stay in the higher planets. By good work only, as prescribed in the scriptures, can one obtain birth in a good family, opulence, good education, and good bodily features. What is this verse? Janma Ishwarya Sutashri. We see also that even in this life, one obtains a good education or money by good work. Similarly, in our next birth, we get such desirable positions only by good work. Otherwise, it would not so happen that two persons born in the same place at the same time are seen differently placed according to previous work. So this we understand. It's all because of our karma. But all such material positions are impermanent. The positions in the topmost Brahmaloka and in the lowest Patala are also changeable according to our own work. The philosophically inclined person must not be tempted by such changeable positions. The intelligent and philosophically inclined person must not be tempted by such changeable positions, temporary positions. He should try to get into the permanent life of bliss and knowledge, where he will not be forced to come back again to the miserable material world, either in this or that planet. Miseries and mixed happiness are two features of material life, and they're obtained in Brahmaloka and in other lokas also. They're obtained in the life of the demigods and also in the life of the dogs and hogs. The miseries and mixed happiness of all living beings are only of different degree and quality, but no one is free from the miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. Similarly, everyone has his destined happiness also. No one can get more or less. See, please note this. No one can get more or less of these things simply by personal endeavors. So how much should we endeavor? So now we should answer this question then, why are we endeavoring so much? Why are we endeavoring so much? Hmm? Why are we endeavoring so much for our own welfare, our, whatever, well-being, etc.? Anybody?
Only for enjoyment.
Only for enjoyment. But even for enjoyment, actually, this statement is said that we cannot get more or less. Meaning, whatever we are destined to get, we are going to get. If we put more endeavor, it is not that we are going to get more happiness. Or if we put some less effort, people think, oh, I put less effort, so I'm getting this suffering. Maybe people say, oh, I had cough, I didn't go to the doctor, so it's become very big now. Is that correct? Huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Is that correct? So if I didn't go to the doctor. I was coughing. I didn't go to the doctor, so it increased. That's correct.
No, that is not correct.
That is not correct.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, but
Yeah.
medically it is correct. If you ignore
Medically,
it,
it is correct.
if you don't nip it in the bud, it increases. Like certain diseases, you
Okay.
have to. Well,
Okay.
Then how do you see it with regards to the statement?
No, that is what I am asking. That is what I am asking. So, should we do medically? Should we see from the eyes of Shastra? Why is then Prabhupada saying that you cannot get more or less? That means that you got more suffering, no? Because you didn't do some personal endeavor.
We should do medically and depend on Krishna.
Okay, then that means that then more or less is not true. So I am asking Prabhupada's statement, this statement is true or false? Simple.
This is true, Prabhu.
Nothing Prabhupada says is false. It's just a, the answer to that question should be yes, it's true. Now,
Yes.
question is, how do I understand it's true? Because we don't seem to be following this statement, no? So the same problem, nip in the bud. Let's talk about this nipping in the bud. So we should understand this. This is a very, very important part of our philosophy. Actually, if we understand this, we will become very peaceful. We will not get agitated by anything. See, we should understand there are two reasons. In Bhagavatam, it says there's an immediate reason, and there is a what is that? Pratyaksha and Paroksha, something like that. Like there is a immediate reason, and there is a reason in the background, meaning something that is working but we cannot see, and that will manifest as an immediate reason. Okay, so for example, now somebody somebody was destined to get cough. So what was the immediate reason? Immediate reason was, say he ate ice cream, for example. So he ate ice cream and then he got cough, and then immediately we will tell, oh, see, I ate ice cream, I got cough. This is a partially true statement. What is partially true about it? It is true that I ate ice cream and I got cough, but eating ice cream was not the only reason for the cough. Anything could have been the reason. So this is called the immediate cause. But the actual reason is what? That I had to get cough as part of my karma phala at that point of time. If we start experiencing these things without immediate causes, we will go crazy. I have to give this example, though again, like I told that I don't want to be giving my own example, but this is because I went through all this. That's why, these things are so deeply ingrained in me. So about 10 years back, I had tuberculosis. Generally, tuberculosis is very unheard of disease in India. Very less occurrence. So when I went to the doctor was frantically looking for immediate reason, immediate cause. He was asking me, where did you go? Did you go to some very cold country? Maybe you exposed yourself to eczema. So, and I said, no, nothing. None of these. So then at that point of time, my understanding of Krishna consciousness was not so deep. It was the very initial years of my Krishna consciousness. So then I also started getting worked up, saying that, what is this? No reason this TB has happened. So it works us up if we cannot identify an immediate reason. So Krishna is very merciful. He doesn't want us to, we have suffering to go through. Now he doesn't want our suffering to increase. So he's created something like an immediate cause. So that immediate cause will just make us feel comfortable, saying, yes, okay, I ate ice cream, I got cough. And now what will I do? Next time I will not eat ice cream. So some resolve so that we can reduce our suffering next time. But that's not the real cause. The real cause is that we've done some nonsense previously, because of which I have to experience cough. And then I have some immediate reason which will just comfort me so that I can go on sensibly, otherwise I'll go insane. So now the point is, if suppose say the disease had to increase, please understand the point I'm making, that the disease had to increase, meaning it was in the karma phala of that person that the disease had to increase. Now there could be two possibilities. One is the person either went to a doctor or he did not go to the doctor. If he went to the doctor and still his disease increased, what will we say? What will we say then?
कर्मा था.
No, कर्मा नहीं, तब तो डॉक्टर ठीक नहीं था.
डॉक्टर ठीक नहीं था.
डॉक्टर ठीक नहीं है, चेंज करो डॉक्टर. Right? फिर we'll go to another doctor. Right? And if suppose fortunately that our situation had to get resolved by then, see, this doctor is so nice. That doctor is not good at all. The doctor has nothing to do in this. I had to get cured. I went to the doctor from whom I had to get a cure. That's all. It's not like that the other doctor people are coming and everybody is remaining sick. It's just that we are destined to get some treatment from some particular person at some particular time. These are all karma phala. And so we go to the doctor, we take medicine, it works. And we say, this doctor is great. And if we didn't go to the doctor, we'll say, see, you didn't go to the doctor at all, so it is aggravated. No, none of these are true. The only true fact is that I have to experience as much I have to experience, and all incidental situations will get created to either make us feel, we have to be aligned with our, suffering. So if it had to increase, then it will either be like, didn't go to the doctor at all, I went to a doctor and I start thinking that he's a incompetent doctor. Either way, to just comfort myself saying that, okay, this is the reason why this has happened. So this is just an immediate cause. So we should understand none of these immediate causes are part of our personal endeavor. This personal endeavor is not going to do anything to us. It's not going to change anything. But of course, it's not like, we'll just be sitting in our house and the solution will come. So some endeavor has to be put. Food is there, but it is there in front of you in a plate. If you don't take it and eat it, we cannot get the food. So there has to be some effort from every jiva. That is the responsibility. That's all. But that endeavor, whether that endeavor was the cause of either more happiness or suffering, no. Yes, Mataji. Yes, Sumantra Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I can give you a live this thing of what I've seen. There I'm Prabhu. One second, I think I'll ask Uncle Prabhu to do it. He'll explain it better.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Prabhu.
Dayara Prabhu suddenly diagnosed with bone marrow his body is not producing.
Yeah.
And the platelets are coming down actually. And he went to 2 years he suffered actually. He went to our doctor said only you are some family member who has a same means bone marrow is a palatable, then you can take from him. And his chance is 50-50. And he suffered 2 years. He earlier he used to go Apollo, Calcutta, stay blood transfusion in 10 days and like that in a month 3-4 times. And he was then suddenly he developed a fever, everything. Then he was suffering. He was in Bombay also, Bhaktivedanta Hospital. Then he thought, okay, let me he came to Vellore also. They said in India he's the best doctor actually in Vellore. He came to Vellore also, and okay, then the family decided they will go to London. And London, they sent paper for okay, making appointment and test and everything. You see, in the London history, that paper got lost.
Yeah. You told last time, yeah.
And when they went there, they didn't even have the medical records.
February, they want to go, and that medical record is not there.
Not there, yeah.
Neither there and India can either. They cannot come in. Then Narada Prabhu said, I decided that I will go to Mayapur, chant and leave body, whatever happened, let
That's
it happen.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't want any medicine.
Yes.
You believe how Krishna sent somebody, cannot send on Google, she found out some Vedraj in Jaipur. I also told
Jaipur.
you.
Yeah, Jaipur. Yeah.
So he said, I will treat it.
Yeah.
His condition was there.
He said she cried and then he
She cried it. She cried. He said, I won't go. You send me symptoms. I'll give you medicine from there only.
Yeah.
And then she said, no, you can do it. Can you please do it? So he came. He saw. He said, my condition is there. You have to stop this allopathy.
Allopathy.
Totally.
No. Nonsense allopathy. Yeah.
So son shouting. Everybody said, no, you can't do. But she and Dharam decided, okay, let's go ahead with this.
Yeah.
What is Krishna's mercy? In 10 days, fever was removed. And after after his treatment started, they got once only to a blood transfer. His health and healthy, everything stopped, medicine, everything. And only diet he has given prescribed that you don't eat this, that he's following that one. And only after this, his wife has to travel with him to cook for him actually. He is in Delhi for this legal case. And his wife is cooking for him. So that is only after he has to follow. Otherwise, everything is a miracle, I can say. That is a miracle, actually.
Yeah. See, this is,
she went to meet she met twice when he was sick. Then he was like a dead body. They were on a glass. Through glass, you can talk to him, not coming out infection because immunity was very less.
Okay.
So she went and saw through a glass to meet him. And then now she went in Delhi actually. So there she spent one day actually. Then the whole they were catching up the whole history of this. So Krishna mercy, and you can't judge Krishna mercy actually if your dependence is there actually.
Yeah. See, actually, this is very interesting. See, because what Prabhupada is saying here, I'll just complete this, right? And he's saying even if they're obtained, they can be lost. So yeah, we can endeavor something, we can get something, but it can be lost because we're not qualified to get that. And see, this actually when it comes to life of a devotee should be even more sublime. Meaning, actually, this is for even karmis, right? This statement is for karmis, like normal people who are endeavoring so much in their life. Prabhupada is saying not required. Now, what about for devotees? Now, for devotees who are completely surrendered, Krishna, there is no need to worry about anything, literally. And this example is like, multiple cases like this we have heard, right? Where Krishna just intervenes at the right time. See, we should understand in the life of devotees, one thing we all should understand, right? And we become so anxious. I've gone through these stages in my life, we feel like, nothing is happening. Oh, I'm putting so much endeavor and this and that and all that. And the reason why that problem, especially for initiated devotees, right? The reason we have any kind of suffering is simply because there is some material attachment. And Krishna wants to knock it off. That's all. There is no other reason. But we don't recognize that. And we don't see that supreme reason behind the situation. And we, in spite of having all this knowledge, in spite of coming to Krishna consciousness, we also, like karmis, only look at the immediate cause. And we only think that the immediate solution is the solution. Prabhupada writes so many places, right? Physician cannot do anything if Krishna doesn't want.
Actually, same thing she was telling. She was telling two-time doctor said he's gone, nothing is there, we can't do anything. You can want to take home, you can take it. And whenever she used to talk to her, his wife, she used to cry. She said, Samantha, don't worry. Both used to start crying. She said, wife, each other they were consoling. she used the Samudra, don't cry. She used the Prema, don't cry.
She never to cry.
She sometimes broke down. She said, if Krishna wants this one, let me suffer. That's all.
Yeah.
And Krishna looks after demons also. Why is she? I'm
Yeah.
impressed actually.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we just don't have this faith. That's why Prabhupada somewhere writes that, in Bhagavad Gita, he writes that bhakti actually means just increasing this faith.
One
Right?
question here. Prabhupada
Yes,
says,
true.
we should take our body also.
Yeah, we should endeavor to take care of our body. See, our problem is that actually many times it's like a vehicle, right? Vehicle has wear and tear.
Yeah.
Now that much we have to take care. For example, if you don't eat food,
Yes.
if you have to live, you'll still live, but you live, like suffering and living. So it's simple thing. Food is there in front of you, eat it. Then you will be healthy and you see there is free will also for us. We have to remember this, right? The free will, when the free will is misused, it will result in unnecessary suffering, which is not actually required.
That's
Right?
right.
Right. And we are also creating new karma. We are not only just going to have some temporary suffering, but we are also going to create new karma, which just showing that we are misusing our free will.
100%.
If we use our free will properly, then it's all clean, right? It's very clear, easy to understand. So simple. Shastra is saying one very simple thing. Shastra is saying endeavor, don't over endeavor. Right? We have to endeavor. We have to put, like I said, food is there in front of us. We have to eat. Sometimes, we've seen like a lot of brahmacharis especially, right? They just abuse their body like crazy. No eating, nothing, like just, do service, this, that, and then collapse. That is why Prabhupada said health is important.
I
Right?
don't know what conception they got actually brahmachari nowadays. After next day Kashi, Prabhu, yesterday was a Kashi. I said, so what happened here? One day is nothing happens if you does not eat. They want to eat more protein, this, that. What is this nonsense here? You one day Kashi and second day you want to fill up like this.
Bodily consciousness. Yeah. So we have to understand, saying that okay, we shouldn't be too as devotees. This one statement is for karmis, for devotees. We should just endeavor. We should not see, the body has been given by Guru and Krishna for doing service, right? We should not abuse it. We should not misuse it. We should not be indifferent towards it because it's a vehicle. So if the vehicle petrol nahi hai, to we have to fill petrol. There's no question of just trying to drive without petrol. So whatever is required to keep the body normally healthy, we should, right? And if even in spite of our attempts, if we are not able to keep the body healthy, it's a simple reason that we are bound to suffer. Now, if we are surrendered, I'm again using this word surrendered because not just by any initiation this will not be the result. By a person who's done Atma Nivedanam, who's done, Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan, who has Atma Samarpan, offered himself at the lotus feet of his Guru, that devotee will not suffer materially at all. It is not his material because karmani nirdahati, right? All the karma is destroyed. Right? So that suffering in that devotee's life is absolutely fully Krishna's mercy. Because he is just removing all obstacles between the devotee and himself. Right? But Lord is removing all those obstacles. And mostly it will be material attachment. Right? And that material attachment has to go. Like for example, see in this case of Dharam Prabhu, Krishna pushed him to the state where he just was ready to give up his body, which means that complete detachment, complete disconnection from the body. Now, Prabhu at any point of time is ready to go to Goloka. It's so simple, right? Nothing attachment for nothing, right? So Krishna just put him through 2 years or few years of difficulty and knocked off a major obstacle, which should have been obstacle to go back to Godhead. This is Krishna's mercy. Right. So when Krishna is involved in our life, we should never look at anything and say, oh, see, I've been suffering for so long, or this problem is not going away at all. We should receive from spiritual vision. Why? The only question that should come in our mind is, why is Krishna letting this problem remain in my life? If we can get an answer to that, then automatically Krishna will knock it off. When we have understood that and, we've accepted that, saying that, okay, this is the reason and I have to endeavor to get over this. And as soon as we start endeavoring, and there is some progress happening, Krishna will knock off that problem. That problem will never not remain so serious at all. Very simple thing. But we are not in that consciousness. We are in this immediate situation consciousness. Please don't forget this. It's we immediately fall into illusion about incidental reasons, about immediate reasons, right? And then we just forget that first of all there is karma, second on top of that there is Krishna. We forget all this. And this is just because of ignorance. This is just because of ignorance. We just fall into that ignorance. That is why I keep telling devotees saying that please write down. These are like amazing truths that Prabhupada has, a single statement. See, it can change one's life. Just this one statement. But we will just read this and just over, purport over. That to last 3 lines of our purport. Who is going to read?
Krishna
Right?
rewards also, Prabhu. I tell about Dayaram Prabhu. There are more than thousands crore of property was in his name of Mayapur. And if he was so financially, and nobody was knowing also. He is to purchase property because that time ISKCON was not able to purchase his name, some other name like that way. He was only knowing. And in Mayapur, nobody was knowing. And he is still going on through, but a few years back, he was going immensely problem of financially. If he would have just sold 2 acres, I think his problem would have solved actually.
Yeah.
But you believe, I believe him is so straightforward. He single paisa he didn't touch. Now ISKCON can have property. Whole property got transferred to the ISKCON, and the government is taking the Mamata Banerjee free this one transfer. Registration fees, everything freed up for ISKCON actually. And so total more than 1,000 crore rupees of property has been transferred together.
Yeah. I mean, Krishna takes care of. I mean, like,
that is you see that Krishna immediately taken care of. This thing is loyalty to the Krishna and Prabhupada actually.
Yeah. So we see in all these lives of all these great devotees that Krishna is showing time and again for those who have less faith. He's telling, look at these devotees. And that's actually Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has all of these kind of situations, right? And we just don't read Bhagavatam with that intention, right? Or with that intention to learn these things and adopt these things in our life. So classic, if you're thinking about wealth, then Sudama is a classic example, right? So many, like person suffering, Ajamila, classic example. So there's so many instances, even in Bhagavatam, which is actually telling us this. But till Acharya like Prabhupada comes and writes this such sharp, clear statements, those learnings don't come into our head, right? Because we are Manda Sumanda Matayo. So Prabhupada's purport. That's why I keep harping on Prabhupada's purports. Like, read those purports. They're just life changing. Right. So you see, again, one more super strong statement. One should not, therefore, waste time with these flimsy things. You want anything stronger than this? People say, oh, you're so strong. I say, Prabhupada is strong. Who else is strong? We're just repeating whatever he's saying. Waste time with these flimsy things. And if you say, oh, don't get engaged in flimsy material, if you say, no, you shouldn't be so hard. You should let people do whatever they want. Why Prabhupada is not telling that? Why Prabhupada is not saying that, yeah, it's okay, we engage, be happy, merry in your flimsy things? Because he's saying, if you will endeavor for these flimsy things, then you will stop endeavoring to go back to Godhead. One should only endeavor to go back. Only, not one should endeavor to go back to Godhead. Only. That should be the mission of everyone's life, not devotee's life, everyone's life. What to say about a devotee? So just these 3 statements can change the course of our life. If we simply want to implement this in our life, it will change the course of our life. How powerful. So please read Srila Prabhupada's books. Can't emphasize it more. Okay, I'm stopping there. Any questions, any comments, anybody? Okay, great. We'll stop here. So it's a very auspicious beginning of Makara Sankranti. It's considered very auspicious, actually, especially for those who are, spiritually inclined. We are advised to take up something more, something big for Krishna's pleasure, Guru and Krishna's pleasure. So we can take, like Prabhupada used to say, like you can take any situation and add some, become more serious in Krishna consciousness. It can be, reason can be anything. So we will take this reason also. We'll say, okay, Makara Sankranti, good day. Sun is going to be brighter. So let the sun of bhakti shine brightly on us, and let all of us make more progress, and try to follow all these statements that Srila Prabhupada is saying in his book. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vansa kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Prabhu.